From the crack of dawn, citizens across Trinidad and Tobago were determined to exercise their civic duty. On April 28th, voters queued up outside polling stations in the first general election since the pandemic. While the voter turnout won't be clear until results come in, the crowds included a number of first-time voters. Jalon Lara says he was encouraged by his mother to exercise his constitutional right.
I wasn't really into the whole politics stuff, but she told me that, now it's time that I should, be aware of what's going on in my country. And, because I'm getting older, I turn 18, so I'm becoming a man.
And while the process seemed relatively smooth, 79-year-old Carlos Hayes of Roxborough in Tobago says things could have moved a bit faster.
Very nice, but like all the people that come out there, but the process is a little slow.
Carol John, who cast her vote at Cipriani Labour College, says there were no hiccups.
Everything was pretty smooth, quick, easy, in and out.
Amid citizens reporting a seamless casting of the ballot, political parties, however, claim the electoral process was plagued by voter bribery, voting delays, and poor EBC controls. Prime Minister Stuart Young says he is already expecting legal challenges from the United National Congress, depending on the outcome of today's general election. Young, who voted at the International School in Westmoreland, says that the UNC's call for an inquiry into the operations of the Elections and Boundaries Commission is just the beginning.
What I suspect that is trying to line themselves up with an excuse and to head to the courts for election petitions, which has become, unfortunately, the opposition's modus operandi. It's quite unfortunate that we see these continuous attacks, even when we're not in an election season, by the UNC on an independent body like the EBC.
But the UNC's political leader, Kamla Persad-Bissessor, is adamant that voters were being enticed with cash, saying some voters in Moruga, La Hakita and Talparo complained of inducements on voting day.
I've had reports from other stations that the process is very lengthy. I don't know if it's a deliberate strategy to frustrate people or just incompetence on the part of some. So it is something we are getting reports at La Hakita, Talparo. Very slow process there. Several of the constituencies where it matters most, I would say. The other reports that are coming in is the people seeking to buy out voters. So we're hearing in Moruga Tableland.
But in the St. Joseph Aranguez constituency, police arrested a man with $30,000 in his possession after reports that he was offering money for votes. Police searched the man's vehicle and found no political paraphernalia. Meanwhile, political leader of the National Transformation Alliance, Gary Griffith, accused politicians of breaking the law and campaigning on election day using social media. He says he will be making an official police complaint.
Section 91 to 93, I think, you cannot influence persons, you cannot promote political parties. There's somebody who's an alderman, he holds a position in this country. As it pertains to governance, and he is on social media promoting one party or trying to tell people not to vote for a party. That is illegal. That is against the law. He should be arrested this morning. We would be reporting it to the police. This has to stop.
While the political leader of the Patriotic Front and candidate for Couva North, Makila Pandey, was in high praise of the EBC.
Great. I don't have any complaints. I maintain the fact that the process is very archaic. It needs to modernize. When you have an outdated system process, the room is left for things to happen. But I didn't have any problems, and I commend the EBC for the job that they're doing. Former UNC MP Jack Warner, who cast his vote at the Five Rivers Hindu School, expressed concern about the pace of the process.
At the outset, it was a bit slow, as if the people were in OJT, as it were. And I hope that it picks up, because it took me about 10 minutes to vote. And it shouldn't have taken so long. An
incumbent MP for Chaguanas East, Vandana Mohet, says a poll clerk had to be removed because of the slow pace of voting causing delays.
EBC appears to be very disorganized here in the constituency of Chaguanas East.
As Election Day 2025 comes to an end in Trinidad and Tobago, there's mounting pressure on the EBC to address the claims by all political parties. Janelle Bernard, CNC 3 News.